Right, hello everyone, this is Product Shard, and today I'm going to be going over the ballistic knife, which I got to max prestige, max level. It's only got like 6 levels in a prestige, so it's not particularly difficult to get there, like kind of level wise, but it is difficult, well it's not really a gun, but special to use. It's the second special you unlock for your secondaries, and you get it pretty late at like level 49, level 50. And for what it is, you probably shouldn't get it that late, but I'll be going over the class that I would recommend using. There's only like one that I would use, but there's a lot of variants that you can choose if you want, but it doesn't have any attachments or anything, so I can't really give advice about that. But to be honest, this is all about playstyle. This weapon, I'm not going to call it a gun, I'll try not to anyway. But this weapon is completely about playstyle rather than attachments or using, or like if you put a silencer on it makes it better or something. Basically you need to be stealthy with the ballistic knife. Obviously it's only got a limited lunge, but it does have that, what is it, ballistic knife obviously, that you can fire out, and it fires in a straight line, dips a little bit. Dips a lot less than on Black Ops 1, which is kind of hard to get used to if you use the ballistic knife on Black Ops 1. But you can get used to it pretty easily. And don't run this as a secondary. I'm going to say that because it is a complete waste. If you don't run it as a secondary, then you get the combat knife anyway, which in a tight situation when you're kind of running at, well, you've ran out of ammo or something, switching to a combat knife and just being able to hit the right trigger rather than having to press either B or RB is much easier and just seems a lot more natural. So if you're in a tight spot, then that will probably help you out a lot more than having to get the ballistic knife out and like firing the knife because you think that'll be better and then missing it or something. So don't do that. But if you want to run it as a primary because you're like a knife only player, or you just want to be pro stealth and like not really care about shooting people, or you're like, as I said, a knife only player, then, well, if you're a knife only player, then you've been missing out, you know, because it shoots knives and stuff. But if you just want a bit of fun, then putting this on as a secondary, and then obviously you don't need like secondary gunfighter or anything, so you do have a lot of points to put wherever you want. And the way I would recommend doing it is to go more onto perks than anything else. The perks are going to be what help you the most compared to like having loads of equipment or something. But I was using it on demolition and search and destroy, but even like on anything else, because you have to get really close to them, or you have to fire the knife, you need to be able to stay really stealthy, get up really close to them, and just kind of stay off the radar completely. When you fire it, you don't come up on the radar. When you knife them, you don't come up on the radar. So whatever you do with this, unless you do have a primary, you're not going to come up on the radar at all. So you want to be running things like lightweight and extreme conditioning to get close to them, cold-blooded and things like that to stay kind of have no name and you're able to lie down and wait for people to go past before you knife them. And another thing is you may want, if you're going on search and destroy and stuff, where being quiet is also good, then I would definitely recommend Dead Silence. But for an objective game like Demolition, having Flak Jacket and Tactical Mask means you can just run through objectives without being killed or like impaired by shock charges or flash grenades or stun grenades and stuff, as way of the Tactical Mask. So it just means if you're running like through a B flag on domination, and they throw obviously a couple of flashes or stuns, then they're going to expect you to be stuck in the middle of the map still, but you can just run straight through it, get up close to them and knife them, and they will have no idea what happened. The smoke grenade is actually like one of the best things on the class. When you first put it on, you may not use it at all, but for demolition and domination, you can throw it down on the flags or the bombs, and obviously they can't see you, especially if you've got cold-blooded, because your name won't come up. And you can cap objectives really easily. You can stay like on a flag, and they may come in and like see that there's someone there, but they don't really know who it is, so they'll walk off and then you can get the cap. Planting bombs and stuff is much easier. So the ballistic knife is kind of I used it in a very objective way, because you can just stay really quiet and people don't know you're there. So you can plant an objective or kill the people that are there without anyone really realizing, and then obviously by that point they're dead. Then I've got C4 on rather than a combat knife, because I don't use the combat knives, because obviously you can just shoot the ballistic knife, which kind of has the same effect, other than they don't bounce off. And I just like throwing C4 into objectives and stuff to clear it out before I run in. But you can obviously put on the combat knife and go for what is it? Danger close, and have 2 of them, and obviously being able to fire if you miss with the ballistic knife, you can still throw another 2 combat knives. Then you may want to change one of your perks, perk greeds to perk 2, and put fast hands on or something else. Or if you're just on like team deathmatch or something, then you'll want to put on like fast hands and then tactician, and then have like 2 stun grenades, 2 flash grenades, or change one of them for shock charges or something like that. So whatever happens, you can just lob stun grenades and stuff out into the open if you're running out, or into a building, or into the person in front of you, and you'll be able to get the kills much easier because they won't be able to move. Now, quickly on the end, I'm just going to have a bit of a rage, to be honest, at Treyarch for their horrible work on knifing. I don't know whether it's meant to be like this, and if you're a knife-only player, I seriously congratulate you on being able to stick it out on this game, because I find it like basically unplayable for knife-only. And whether you're using a combat knife or this, when you do try and knife someone, you will lunge like straight at them, and then no hit marker, nothing will come up. They'll kind of walk away, turn around and kill you, and they haven't been affected, even though both knives have like gone straight into their face. And it's just a bit confusing, to be honest, why it doesn't work. It may just be my connection, but other people definitely say it too. And you see people knifing who like lunge into you or through you or like around you, and you just watch it from their point of view, and they definitely should have got the kill. It just seems kind of mad how people have stuck it out, and I don't really know how they have. But I wouldn't recommend, like, if you want to have some fun, then by all means, like, do some knife only. But definitely don't think that it's going to be really easy like Modern Warfare 2 was, where you could just put commando on and like lunge people from 20 meters away. It does take a lot of time to get used to and to gain like the skill that you need to do it and be able to get close to people, but that is half the challenge, I guess. And if you're ready for it, then give it a go. Cheers for watching, and see you next time.